Hello everybody, welcome back to Wolfeei Extras. We're back again. What's shocker? The same channel as per usual. Anyways, today we have received the second half of the MCC Twitch Rivals teams. Yesterday we had the first half, surprisingly of course. Today we have the second half, unsurprisingly of course, which is very exciting. We'll get into that very shortly. Before that, two things. Number one, I forgot. Number two, I heard that is a new Taylor Swift album. I heard it's bad. I don't listen to Taylor Swift, so I'm gonna not have any thoughts on that. But if you listen to Taylor Swift, I feel sorry for you, I guess, that she dropped mid. Anyways, let's get into the situation. Oh yeah, this is the first thing. Yesterday we were left off with this. If you didn't see the team announcements, please go watch the video, but you can also see them in front of your screen right now. These were the first 5 teams to be announced, and that left us with the player roster below. And unsurprisingly, the 20 players below here are all on 5 teams. Well, they're all on one team, but 5 separate ones. Starting with the Cyan Coyotes, which started a pretty interesting thing for this cycle of teams, because we didn't really know if we should expect the most straightforward teams or some experimentation, and we were met with some experimentation. Excitingly so, of course. Consisting of Captain Sparkles, Pizza Hut, Sykkuno, and Tina Kitten, which I think is a full Cobblemon team from what I heard. I think on Abe's Cobblemon server everyone here was either active or semi-active, if I remember correctly. So that's exciting, of course. Always fun to see everyone on this team in an MCC, but we have some infrequent players, and Jordan is not somebody who commonly goes to conventions, so it's exciting to see Jordan thrown into the mix here. Jordan and Pete, of course, is a common duo in MCC, and really across Minecraft events for that matter. Then we also have Sykkuno and Tina, which is of course a duo that makes a lot of sense. Sykkuno making his first MCC appearance since, I think, Pride last year, if I remember correctly, and he didn't even stream that event, so this will be his first live streamed POV since 2023. Tina, of course, played in the most recent Rivals in Europe as well, where she was on the Orange team. So very exciting, of course. It's cool to see a bit more of a refreshing team for really both sides of this team. I feel like this is a duo. I feel like this is a duo to an extent. Fun to see them thrown into a mix together, and it should be a fun one. Yeah, W team. You'll have to see it. Anyways, continuing forward, we have the Aqua Axolotls, which is a, full non-mask team, if I remember correctly. Consisting of Amy, Hannah, Shelby, and Janet, which should be a pretty fun team, if I do say so. Apologies again, myself. This is going to be a pretty high energy team. Of course, Janet is somebody who I always mention to be a really refreshing MCC POV, just always bring a lot of energy to the table. Amy also has, on average, very energetic POVs, I would say, for MCC as well. So having them together is going to be chaos. It's going to be a lot. Then we also see Shelby and Hannah, of course, where I think both Shelby and Hannah would more commonly be on the chill side, but they very much fit the chaotic vibe and can have very loud pop-off moments, right? So it should be exciting to see this team make their way through the games, of course. I do think this team has a shot to do pretty well. I feel like people may be underrating Amy, more specifically here, because I feel like Amy as a second frag still could pull out a top half performance potentially, so that could be pretty interesting. Either way, continuing forward, we have the Blue Bats, which consists of Pearlescent Moon, Scott's Major, Solidarity Gaming, and the Orion Sound. Very fun indeed. This is a MCC team. What? No way. This is a team that consists of people that I would say are most commonly paired up together. It's a classic, I guess, in terms of MCC team combinations. I think the lead player of this team is probably Scott, though I know Ollie probably, statistically speaking, does compete with Scott for that top frag spot. Then we have Pearl and Jimmy to most likely at least cover the lower end of this team, which I think is pretty solid. Pearl, last time that she played in Rivals, did really well. I think paired up with Feinberg, so it'll be interesting to see if Pearl can continue that streak, of course, because for Pearl this is going to be a pretty adventurous POV, considering Pearl usually plays from home with like 200, 300 ping, and now she'll be playing with 0. So that's a pretty big difference if you do ask me, because I know what it's like because I played in MCC. So anyways, should be a fun team. Probably another one that, again, similar to something like Aqua, I think a team game is always very beneficial to them. Maybe a pop off in something like a Sky Battle. You never know. Scott has the little dig into mid strat that tends to work decently well, so maybe they'll be able to squeeze out a round win in something like Sky Battle. But for the rest, we'll have to wait and see because we don't know the games yet. Either way, we have next up the Purple Pandas, which is quite an interesting combination, if I do say so myself. Consisting of Fruitberries, 5UP, SK, and FanFan. This is, I would say, an experimental team to an extent. 5UP, SK, and FanFan is a trio that makes a lot of sense. They are not only just friends, but they also are friends in person. Or at least I think have met in person, all of them probably, or at least they're good friends, right? There's a team consisting of friends. Fruitberries here is in a bit of a random spot, if you do ask me. It's kind of an interesting inclusion, I think, but I like it. I think it's going to be very refreshing to see a team like this perform. For those of you who are not familiar with FanFan, of course, because this is her first MCC, she's a pretty, notable, decently well-sized, big, you could say even IRL streamer, who very frequently collabs with like the mainstream of streaming with, like your Pokemon Valkyrie type of crowd. Senna, I think, is somebody who FanFan often does content with. Emaru would be thrown into that mix as well. Not only that, but FanFan has also played in Block Wars twice. Played in Block Wars Rookies 1 and in Block Wars Rookies 4. So we'll be, to an extent, familiar with the Minecraft event format, right? This will also be the second MCC for both SK and Fruitberries. Essentially back-to-back events for both of them. Fruitberries played LEGO event, SK played in Pride. So yeah, very exciting. 5UP being the lead player of this team. One of the most improved players as of recent, so I think this team is a likely dodgeable contender, but we'll have to wait and see at the end of the day. Anyways, it could be a variety FanFan versus variety Connery's Pants POV and dodgeball, which would be awesome. That would be pretty funny. Last but certainly not least is the team that's probably in the thumbnail, the Pink Parrots, consisting of Fruitberries, Gemini Tay, Good Times with Scar, and Grian. Yes, indeed, we do see Grian in a Twitch event. What? Crazy, huh? Either way, yeah, we have not only Grian in a Twitch Rivals event, which, considering he is a YouTube streamer, is quite interesting. We also have Grian back on a team with Fruitberries, which is pretty interesting. We also have a Hermitcraft trio, which is pretty interesting. We also have Gemini Tay teaming up with Fruitberries for the first time, which is a duo that people have said should happen at some point. Here it is. I also don't know. I don't think Grian has been teamed with at least Scar before. I don't think Grian is teamed with Gem. Maybe I think they have. I don't remember. They probably have. Maybe I just don't remember. But Scar, I don't think has teamed with Grian, if I remember correctly, because that's like a duo that feels like it should have happened, and now it's happened. So that's cool. Anyways, that's the teams for this event. So, with that, if we round out the teams down here, ignore the colors for now, it doesn't matter. You do see the board fill up quite nicely all across. As I try to speed run this real quick, because I forgot to do this earlier, I apologize. I think this second half of the teams rounded this roster out quite nicely. I am happy to see a lot of the inclusions this time around, and I think it'll be a fun event, all things considered. So, who do you think is the best team, the best POV for this event? Best team in terms of strength, best POV in terms of most fun one? I feel like a lot of people are going to say Pink, because, of course, Grian, and not only Grian, but the combination that's been put together on Pink is very exciting. And yeah, I think it's going to be a sight to see, a very exciting roster indeed. And it's all going to take place in like 2 weeks, honestly. Actually, not honestly, it just is. In 2 weeks, this event will take place during TwitchCon on the Sunday which I think is October 19th. Yes, October 19th is when we will see MCC. It literally says right here, huh? Yeah, Sunday, October 19th. So, very exciting. Anyways, thank you for watching. Let me know which MCC team you're most excited for. And also, for those of you who love Block Wars, like I do, of course, we have Rookies 5 teams coming tomorrow. So, we have a back-to-back team announcement stream weekend to an extent, which is very exciting for me because I am the guy that does those. So, tune in for Block Wars Rookies teams starting tomorrow. The MCC teams are really cool, but because we knew the roster, they weren't as surprisingly exciting. The Block Wars Rookies teams are more surprisingly exciting because you don't know who's playing besides me and Anthos. So, stay tuned. Thank you for watching. I'll see you there. Goodbye.